Hi YouTube! This is my first video. I'm not going to make a lot of them, but I just wanted to go on a quick rant and use my voice instead of paper, pen, keyboard, computer, because usually that's my preferred mode. But yeah, so I wanted to talk today about why I'm a writer. This is honestly also a stream of consciousness for me personally, to kind of practice presenting my ideas in a more linear fashion. Yeah, like just talking things out loud and processing them is very different. So, a little background on me. I just graduated from college with a journalism degree. And yeah, I've worked for 9 publications since I was 18. I have lived in 6 cities, writing for various newspapers and magazines, and now I'm on my second to last day of my internship at the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. I'm about to move out, and I'm about to go home and give up for a few months my workaholic lifestyle, and then hopefully get into freelancing for topics on race and culture and writing more of those essays, which is kind of different than the traditional journalism I've been doing for a long time now. Well, I guess 4 years isn't that long. But yeah, when I'm writing, in general, I just get my ideas out. Everything flows. I can type, transcribe, write faster than a lot of people out there. This has been tested. I'm really good at the personal narrative. I have like a really, I guess, knack for expressing my voice. But one thing that I'm trying to get better at is explaining myself in real life, because I get super nervous, I get super overwhelmed, and then everything just comes out the wrong way. So yeah, a camera really intimidates me. Real life people talking to me really intimidates me, because for me, hiding behind a screen is an easier way to get out my feelings. It's an easier way for me to be vulnerable. When you have a person face to face talking to you, it's very different than if you were just to go on this monologue and be like, okay, whoever reads this, it's their choice to read it and know my actual feelings or my actual thoughts on something. So I'm challenging myself to share more vlogs, and I'm not gonna make these like clips or something or say anything that I wouldn't say in real life. But yeah, okay, sorry, off topic. Like I said, I'm much better at writing than I am at talking. But I wanted to talk about kind of being a writer. Like, for me, there's just something so exhilarating about kind of like watching everything pour out of my head. Like, it always comes out the right way. If I know how to start it, I just go straight to the end, tweak the ending a bit, self-edit a little bit, and then just post my blog. Like, I've been posting prolifically on crystalduan.com for the last 6 years now. This is before college. And it's really been fun to watch my writing voice change. It's really been fun to observe how I process. And I'm always like, when I read, I'm like, damn, like I sound so different in person versus when I'm just like pouring my heart out that way. Or, you know, writing like a hard news article. A lot of people, when I was first starting out at the zoo, were surprised that in person I'm so bubbly and seem kind of scrambled, because they were like, oh, like, you seem so hardcore, like when I'm reading like the hundreds of articles you've written for the Maneater, our school newspaper, or you seem so hardcore when you're like giving this really kind of stoic sounding opinion on like politics or like something that's going on like in the social realm. And I'm like, hey, ha ha ha, yeah, and like laugh nervously. Yeah, like presentation. I gave a speech last year at the Asian American Journalists Association conference, and oh my god, it was like the most intense thing ever. Like, me and my friend were up until like 2 a.m. I was like crying and being like, I can't even make eye contact with like anyone. when I'm talking, and I'm just gonna mess this up because we were trying to do this speech on like why millennials should be hired, which I mean, we're hiring millennials, but we were really trying to talk about how we shouldn't be underestimated. But yeah, overall, like, I just feel more comfortable writing, and a lot of my most candid statements have been said over text or over my blog or over Messenger. But in person, I feel like I can't control my body language because even though I have like a lot of friends, people still really make me nervous. In groups, I actually clam up if I don't know everyone. And this is something that I didn't want to admit to myself that I struggled with. But, you know, maybe it makes me more sensitive as a writer, like, for me to have some of those, like, introverted and anxious tendencies. But I'm trying to change that a little bit more. I'm really proud of myself for making it through 6 minutes without wanting to die because I feel so self-conscious. What I've been realizing lately is I can come off a little narcissistic, like, initially, because, well, here's an anecdote to illustrate. So, I was in a hotel room at the conference, and I met this random person. He was just talking about his life, and I apparently just drunkenly was like, "Oh my god, you think you're hot shit, don't you?" to this, like, totally random person that I had not met. And I realized that I do this because I really like to overwhelm people and to test them initially. And I was like, okay, I did not realize how desperately I want to look cool or I want to look like untouchable, but like in reality, like, it's all a facade. And so I'm like, you know, I don't like that the person writing this really great think piece isn't the same person who can confidently tell a room full of people why she thinks that way. Like, one-on-one conversations, if you get me going enough, if I feel like you're not going to judge me, and that takes a while for me to, like, gauge, I'll, like, totally do that. I've had some great conversations about social justice with people. But if I'm, like, scared of you for whatever reason because I, like you, or I really want to impress you because you're, like, a big deal, then I'm going to just totally go off the deep end and not seem as put together as I do over the internet when I email people, or, yeah, when I do basically anything in writing and have the chance to, just even knowing I can edit it and go back makes me write it faster and write it more in one go. But yeah. I need to get used to the sound of my own voice, though, because these days everything is screens and everything is more public, and the thing is, people are really visual. And I've been really insecure lately about how writing doesn't feel like enough anymore. I feel like I can't just hide behind a screen forever and just, you know, not even touch, like, the more interactive, like, face-to-face, or if you want to go into the in-between, like, social media, multimedia stuff. This is my brief foray into telling any of you who don't know me in real life but know me from my blog or, like, Twitter or something that I talk like this. And I think I have this image in my head of being, like, a super, like, put together, like, well-spoken, like, amazing voice of this generation, but, like, my literal voice. I really have idolized that a lot of my life, but now is the chance to try to actually make it to that. So this, I'm not sure if it was a waste of time, but I'm putting it out there anyway. Whoever's watching, thanks for actually making it this far, because, like, I don't know why you're still watching. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, during this break when I move home and try not to be so much of a workaholic, I'm looking forward to slowly sounding a little more on point. So yeah, see ya.